foundations of man. Nothing else which a man makes ever lasts. Civilizations grow old and die out. But after an era of darkness, new races build each other. But in the world of books are volumes that still live on, still telling men's heart of the hearts of men centuries dead. Hello and welcome to the first episode on the analysis of Father of Nations by Paul B Vitta. On this series, we'll talk about the author's biography. We'll also talk about the historical scope and the contemporary issues that plague the African continent that has indeed inspired the creation of the thematic concerns in Fathers of Nation by Paul B Vitta. Paul B Vitta is a Tanzanian-based author and also a professor of physics, at the time teaching in Dar es Salaam University. So in order to understand Fathers of Nation, I think it's essential first of all for us to draw on the historical scope. As we know, in 1884, the Europeans sat down, and before them was the map of Africa. They parceled out Africa amongst themselves, and each colonial power had their share. What followed is a new era opened, one of colonialism to the continent of Africa. They drew those boundaries, of which we have them up to today. And in a way, these boundaries brought in divisions to the African people. During the era of colonialism, our forefathers saw it wise that indeed it's better for them to fight for independence so that we can free ourselves from the yoke of colonialism. Some of them collaborated, but some went to the forest and fought for independence. And what followed was a culmination and achievement of African independence. But after independence, the hopes, the dreams, and the aspirations of the African people were sacrificed at the altar of personal greed by the leaders whom they had elected to power. Some of these leaders were drunk with power, and as we know, they say, absolute power do corrupt absolutely. For the first time in the African continent, we saw the birth of corruption, nepotism, tribalism, poverty, betrayal by the mass, by the leaders whom they had elected to power. And up to today, we can still see the ills that continue to plague most and all of the African countries. And so it was on this basis that Paul B Vitta tries, like other artistic giants of Africa, such as Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Wole Soyinka, and other New Age writers, chronicle the plight that the typical Africans faced and face on a daily basis. And so this book touches on issues of corruption, touches on the issues of poverty, touches on the issues of misuse of power by those in power, and also it addresses this disunity among the African presidents that has seen this continent suffering and remaining underdeveloped. Historically, after independence, our African leaders met in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Their main aim was to create an united Africa. They wanted an Africa which will move at one pace. But as a result of the divisions by these African leaders, after the conference, they established the OAU, Organization of African Unity. But indeed, that never solved Africa's problem because of the differences between our leaders. And so these are some of the things that we will find reading Fathers of Nations by Paul B Vitta. So in this introductory, if you are new to this channel, you can hit the subscription button, because we'll read through the chapters in successive episodes up to the last chapter of the book. Or on the basis, we look at the 4 characters. Karanja Kimani, a professor. We also look at the character of Chiamaka. We also look at Comrade Melusi and many others through the book, who some have felt pain by the regimes which continue to rule their countries. And in a way now they have come to advise these head of states to bring in change that will see the development of Africa. We see the way Alpha, the path Alpha, we also see the way Omega. Now these are ideologies that are meant to develop the continent of Africa. But will our leaders be united? How will they react to these proposals? Will they accept it, or will disunity again bring differences that will see Africa dragged back to the abyss of hopelessness? So you can hit the subscription button so that you can get notified as we talk and learn more and dig more on the thematic concerns, the stylistic devices that Paul B Vitta employs in the book to create this narrative. It is a wonderful book. It is a good book that talks about what plagues us, and it also gives some bit of solutions to our African problem. Thank you.